Right, all right. See if this on. See if this mission. We got video. Do we have audio? Hey, there we go. Thanks for coming. You found your way to the Psychedelics podcast. Hey, welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming on through. You found the Thai side. This is just Thai now. It's just Thai, Santa. Just Thai now. Combine your mind with your heart. See what your gut mind is saying. Connect all those three circles and let whatever come out. Just come on now. Wonderful morning so far. So far, Northern Cali, good life. Good life, good dreaming. Y'all waking up from a dream, appearing here in this reality. But let's have some fun. Tie on some psychedelics, culture. Y'all got any questions when jump into Discord? Go right ahead. And while y'all at it, check out the justtiednow.com website where you can find the podcasts, merch, some cool apparel. Take a bite out of life. This gonna be on there soon. Just Tied Now. There it is. Like the page, Tussle Tula Bay, art section. And you'll find some art. New art kind of uploaded every other day. You even just share the art. You don't even have to buy it. Check it out. Yeah, sign up on there. Yeah, we got the Thai gaming, Thai VR, psychedelic rapture, and RTN. And this hat I got right here. Dang, mushy hat. Glows in the dark. There we go, share it to the round. There is no way you can stop me. That must have been a copy. You must have been dreaming, man. This another reality. And where you finding me, I'm caught up in both. And I go into infinity. That's just what's in me. And I have no real enemies, cause all my enemies, they frenemies. They just not enemy right now, cause they just want what they want. And I ain't gonna front, I'ma do this, I'ma jump. Thank y'all for coming on through. This is once again the Psychedelics podcast. And I'm tying on psychedelics, dreams, lucid dreaming, experiences. That's what this one is about. That's what this one is about. Culture, where we find ourselves in. Let's jump right into some of the nitty gritty, some of the meaty parts of it. Because I know how y'all are. I'm learning how y'all take in information. How we all take in information. But yeah, because the world that we find ourselves in is wild. And a lot of us be feeling alienated. For a lot of reasons that make sense. We'll say no reason and then bury it in and go along with the picture. But this is a fun Thai bit out there. Like people did not used to live this long. The average lifespan back in the 1700s, I think I got it. According to the people that was trying to take records in the world and shit like that, was 36 years, 38. Then it wound up being 40 in the 1900s. Then it went up to the 60s. And then the 70s and the 2000s. and we're living to be a life expectancy is well over 70 years old. Well over 70 years old compared to the chart in 1770. So, man, we got a lot of time to figure shit out. We built like we're mad. You in a dream. You in a reality that's as co-conspirators to keeping it the way that it is built and keeping it built the way it is. We have a huge part in that. We have a huge part in that. But I'm tying on some other factions of working in the mind and stuff like that right now. We have a huge fact. So culture, civilizations and stuff, they was all built around people living existing in this reality for only 30 years. 36 years. So shout outs again to to Tenny McKee. He was pointing out the correlate with this life expectancy and culture and stuff about how you didn't have to have free form of thought so much. It wasn't totally necessary because there was a lot of things set up for you. Like your time on Earth was short. So all the myths took care of the your imaginations and stuff. And so like, oh, this is what I'm seeing. They said that this is what this is called. This is what it means and stuff like that. And even like with the kings and queens and everybody having a order and stuff like that. And even not even in Europe and a lot of different cultures, like out of the European world. In Africa, Asia, this was the life expectancy everywhere. Like the world was below average 30 years in the 1700s. This around when they were saying so-called America was being founded and everybody doing the revolutions and stuff around here. Them people wasn't living so long, so they create all of these rules. Like the people that so-called get wise up to the reality that they in and stuff, and how people are being attentive, looking for answers and everything. And it's got to be it's sometimes a person that give the answers in a certain particular way in order to and it's all how we do as human beings too. Allow us to take care of each other, allow us to take care of each other, and allow us to move on to the next scenarios. But you know, even in that human spirit, we got a lot of mucky shit in there. So it's been people over generations that's been taking a very quite taking a cue to these mind states and how people work and stuff and put things out in culture. Even everybody does it. Everybody does it. Let's not just be mad at the top people that's doing it. I'm doing it now. You doing it when you hang out with your family and friends. It's something that we participate. It's the energy that we participate in. It's saying like we come up with our own myths and legends. They coming out with new horror movies now. I was just watching Fear, 1944. I mean 1998, 1994, and then it was went back to 1986. That was the second movie. Then 1776. It was an awesome storytelling because they got to tell more stories than people having nightmares about Jason and Freddy Krueger and stuff. Now we gotta have some other then people gotta have other things to worry about and other see monsters in the closets and other forms and stuff. So it's something we're always doing. But in terms of the life expectancy and how religions and a lot of things that people carry on that don't really serve us to the best of our well-being in today's time, or people on the that have psychedelic experiences, and just a lot of people that just feel like they're not on that type time to fit in with what's around them. It's like people been living longer to figure out this reality. Like imagine in a DMT flash or in this mushroom trip where you're able to stay in the reality, reality in one set reality in your travels for eons. And sometimes this happens to us. Sometimes this does happen in these experiences where you live out having a whole family or live out dying and everything in a whole reality. So some of us do have that entailed in us. But how long did we actually live over there? How many years was that in Earth time? What is years over there? But to keep a track, how many years did we actually live over there to actually figure out what was going on? And in the reality we pop up in. So us being here, we you seeing more people rise out of base superstitions, base religion, base superstitions of saying, hey, this is what this is because this is what my grandpa said it was. And we've been passing it along and stuff like that. We say, hey, well, this is how I'm seeing it. Like literally, I'm seeing it right now. So I'm seeing reality, and this is now what I want to do with it. But people even being younger, because it's now people like say people that was during the hippie movement and the transformational human moment in the 60s and stuff with expanding their consciousness and conscious awareness and everything, like they're now still alive in businesses and politics and the technical fields and stuff with their awareness working on reality. They didn't die at 50 years old or 40 years old and stuff and be like, oh, I got these codes to reality and stuff. And I'm this older man, but now it means nothing because I'm about to just pass on another reality. Like they still here. We still here. Passing on ideas and creating simulations within simulations in this earth reality. So many simulations in terms of even culture, political parties, even now with money systems. People coming up with different terms of different ways of exchanging money and what money means digitally with the barter system, with the cash money, Federal Reserve, private bank system, with the yen, the euro, and then they even changing the euro. Like I think the countries had their own money. Now they all got to use the euro, and I think a lot of them even bad about that. So it's a lot of culture. Culture is wild. Culture is wild, and then us, the psychedelic people, we found ourselves, or the somnium portus, as I say, because the somnium portus are the substances that open the dream portals to say, hey, this is it's not just this life that's going on. Not just this life that's going on, this reality that's happening that I'm even existing in. Like, what do we see when we in front of our face? Like I see the computer, but also can see a tree in the path. But where is that tree? Where is that path? Where is it right now? Because I was thinking I wanted to tie earlier, like, and let me put the link to the Discord in here too. This is I don't want to just a long. Well, I whatever it is, it is. I don't have no desires, but I open up, jump in. Always going copy link, copy link, copy, copy, copy. Oh, there go the chat. Hey, pray for me, Ty. I got family court. Hey, block. Hey, block. Got you. Hey, Exile. Hey, X. Pop out the chat. Get it so it can. Y'all know the day. I say this every show. Get it so it can pop in and all right on the side. I like copy the link and there it is. Where are our thoughts? Yeah, where are our thoughts? Is all we or is all thought? Oh yeah, listen to the guy Exile. Listen to the guy Exile. Because when you have a dream, like if you having a, I want you to really tie on this, guys. If you having a dream and you think that your body, if you're a type of person that think your body is just this because you've been following culture, you following the myths, the religions that say you was born into an existence, you was created, and then like that's all that there is. And like something that's outside of this realm has nothing to do with you. In fact, that is scary. It's scary, and you gotta pray to you gotta help have something to protect you. You gotta pray something to always protect you. Or like if this is this, then how come when you go to dreams doing other things, having other like in different bodies, talking to different people, how come you still like where what is thinking? How are you talking? Hey, Exile. Yeah, but seriously, how are you talking? Like your organs aren't in your dreams. Your mouth vocal cords right here is not in my dream world. Like, it's right here. But that's a deep that's something interesting I was thinking about myself, Exile. And thanks for coming
When
on. Welcome. Welcome.
thank you. I appreciate you. Well, I mean, like right now, you're not in my phone. Like I look at my phone, I see your face, but you're not in my phone. You know, when I watch TV back on those old school TVs, I'm watching Dan Rather, watching whatever, watching the Olympics. Those people aren't in the phone, I've lost my memory once. I woke up in the hospital not knowing who I was or where I was. Now, I didn't lose brain cells, and when I got my memory back, I didn't gain brain cells. Like,
that's that's real. I never people don't even think about it like that, Exile. Amnesia, like you don't lose brains. Wow, that's wild you went through that too. Been able to
yeah, it's
record that you didn't lose brain cells, but your memory was gone. So what's the correlation?
right, right. I think we're more like transmitters and receivers of this energy or these thoughts or ideas. I don't know if they reside in us. Now, we might be able to modify, program, assimilate certain things to where over and over again, if you do the same thing, it has a same kind of effect. Like we have genetic memory, right? We could, the baby knows to go right to the nipple, the penis knows right to go to the vagina. There's certain things that we know to do without any teaching. Like DMT, when it enters your body, you feel like you're gonna die. Why? Because DMT is present at the time of death and passing your spirit body into the next, or you know, I used to be able to jump off of buildings in my dreams, count to one
Hmm.
from 10 backwards, and then be
Uh-huh.
awake. I think
What?
somebody else talked about it, or somebody talked about it recently about having this light. Oh, Charles did. He
Uh-huh.
said, I realized this was a dream, and I sat cross-legged,
Oh yeah, and it shot out his forehead.
and then you said raptured yourself out of there.
Yeah.
And you were talking about what was that yesterday? Well, it was so integral, bro. The way you came about it. It was counterintelligence. No, no. What
I'm
was it yesterday?
counterintuitive.
Counterintuitive. So being, coming and you're talk all these things connect, right? Because as males, we don't have this boundary disillusioning, boundary dissolving experience.
Childbirth.
Right. And through
Mm-hmm.
childbirth, the woman sees that she's part of something so much greater. But us as males, we have to come through it through experience in a different way or intellectualize it. And if you intellectualize it, you got to be in a space, mindset, or have the availability to break yourself down all the way to the core. And sometimes you don't get all the way down to the core. Something will hang you up about religion or women or men or however you think about something, and that's what you'll stand on.
Yeah.
But
And it
if you're
pops up so fast.
yeah, it's like a constant updating though, like we
Mm-hmm.
like giving and taking. How to have a conversation, I have to be able to listen to what you're going to say. And I don't know what you're going to say. I don't know. I can't be ready to react with a certain statement. No, because this thing is always ever changing. And it's hard to say, I understand nothing new under the sun, but I also don't see that every single day too. There's something new my breath. I never breathed this breath before. My heart never beat this beat. I never walked this step before, as far as I can remember. If I did, then this reality is working to the maximum benefit for everything. Because if it wasn't, I'd remember myself talking to you right now. So I'd have nothing to say. Why would I need to say anything if I've already done it? I've already experienced that.
No,
I
that's real.
appreciate you
No, that's
going off.
real. Because saying it's nothing new under the sun. I be saying they probably thinking about some other sun, but I be creating new energy and stuff every day. I try to create something I didn't see before, or if I seen it, it was in another reality. It wasn't here, so it's new to this sun.
Right.
It's new to here, doing something different. But no, that's the energy, bro. Which I was thinking about. Oh man, my mind over all over the place right now. My bad. I was just analyzing what you were saying, and
Get it?
hold on. Mm. Whew. Yeah, what was the last thing you said again, though? So I can be right on. Hold on. My mind be like going. Oh, let me do this.
If it's meant to come back, it'll come back. So in the
Oh,
giving and taking, we never really know what's gonna come. Like there's a part of this life that is a mystery as well. I don't know how my heart's beating. I don't know where my thoughts go.
fast.
I don't know how the fuck I got here or where the fuck I'm going. So we have these ideas about these
Oh,
things,
oh,
but
damn,
nothing
shit
really
messed up.
concrete, experiential to stand. Some people might have some experientials to stand on. Yeah, for sure. And we share those things. This is what we do. We go to we go away from source and we come back to source. We go away from source and in perspective, we're always in the same thing. It's just our value perception of how far we are away from this creation. Like, oh, I'm so separated from creation. I can't do this. I'm so separate. My, uh, you know,
Which kind of
it,
don't make sense when people say that to themselves too. If you if you separate from creation, then what created you?
how is anything unnatural?
Yeah, like what you think something created the thing next to you different than you, or like yeah, there's something it's just wow. It's just amazing how we can feel as though we're not a part of creation and that alienation feeling and everything. But I think it has to do with what I was bringing up before about how culture is made and stuff like that, and people develop all these rules. But people, we got to go through that awakening stage or that path sometimes of saying, "Hey, I got something different. I got something different going on." And then some people don't, or they do it. Some people do it in their own way. Sometimes when it's feel like they still going with the grain, they still go against a little bit. But then some people like us, we just like flip the whole script and say, "Oh, you thought," like I even thought at times. We all thought, but then like that thought had to go through an experience where it produced something unexpected. And that's what we are. Like, bunch of thoughts just going around. And what you were saying earlier, I was in exile. I had a mushroom, some honey earlier. So if I get real quiet, like I can't like in these states I'm talking, but I'm in a real what we would call meditative state at the same time. So when I was listening to you, I was really like zoned out on everything you were saying that I had to formulate words again. Like it get that deep. It get that deep. And because I be sitting in the camera and I knew people was watching. It was like, what's going on? Like, how do you just forget everything that was even happening? But that's the reset when you was talking about now everything coming back. When you was talking about for males too, specifically, that bring on that's been called males and say you gotta act like this, you gotta be like this, you have to attend to this because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you was here on earth for. We have all these things that we always trying to build up and hold on to in our thought process in order to present a certain vibe or in order to have things under control. Like, oh, this I gotta have under control. And for me, psychedelics and meditating and with breath and like how you said, thought processes getting back. Sometimes I let myself go and and come back and
Right.
question myself.
Right. And if we don't have the availability to do that, if we're just worried about where our food's coming from, if our girls are going to get raped, where we're going to eat, look at North Korea. I don't know if you saw that interview with
What
Joe
happened?
Rogan and the escapee. It's about 3 hour long. It's really fucking hard to listen to. I'm sorry for cussing.
It's
It's
new.
one of the newest ones. Her name is Yeonmi,
Uh huh.
Yeonmi, last name Park. She weighs about 80 pounds, fully nourished right now. And she talks about how the hardest thing that she saw was a kid begging for food on the side of the road with his innards hanging out of his body, and she didn't feel a thing.
Wow. Yeah, she was programmed not to feel that way. Because they probably programmed the government said, well, that person deserved it. No, North Korea is.
They
That is
execute for everything. If you don't weep enough when somebody dies, they execute you. If you don't, I mean, it's really hard to listen to that interview, and it's going on today. Like we're sitting here smoking, chilling, eating mushrooms, and people are living in this situation today in this earth.
yeah. And that has to do with what we talking about, the culture, North Korea and the dictatorship, the extremities that we go to even know what's possible in our mind. And North Korea, like, there's no yeah, there's no telling how much longer it's going to last because we got the internet, we got people like talking a lot more. So secret co-ops and coops and stuff is like that's where my hope lies in. Like somebody just going in, but it's like just doing something, even playing the long
Yeah.
term game, even playing the long. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too much, and then North Korea be like, "Oh man, American spy."
Well, no, I don't think hope will ever die. I think the
hmm
availabilities, and this is my personal opinion, that the things that we have available here will be available anywhere.
hmm Yeah, but it
It's
is
a
a
matter
sad
of
thing.
choice. Yeah.
The talk on the sadness aspect of it is a sad thing. To see somebody. That's why I even talk on the channel. That's what pulls my strings to tie and go live and stuff. That is like all over the world as people at some point in their life appear into a aspect of culture when it goes against how they're how we how we feel is how it's possible to feel as a human being, or how it's possible to react as a human being in order to actually help another human being, instead of saying, "Oh, well, that's their business," or "Oh, I gotta keep it going," or even like how you said in North Korea, so bad that they even say, "Don't weep over it, or we gonna punish you," or "Cry more because we need these emotions out because this was a hero," and everything that they probably for military heroes too, like everything they did for the military, and for you to be comfortable the way that you are, you better show your respect through your tears, let your emotions out. They know people will get into the magic of that too. And manipulating people emotions to gain power over a land and have control. But yeah, that's I was thinking of the movie I was watching. You ever it's the new Netflix movie Exile called Fear Street 1994.
I heard you
It's a
talking about it. No, I haven't seen it. I don't
yeah,
have
it's
to
a new
leave here
horror
soon,
movie.
so if you don't hear me, I'm gonna dip out, but I appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for coming on through the Side Talk
For sure.
Side Talk podcast. Oh yeah, it was it's take place in three different movies, and it was about these people that was trying to control the town because they found this pact with the devil and stuff like that. But overall, they was willing to kill people in order to keep control over the town. So that I was saying that they was getting in turn with the same spirits that Kim Jong Un would get in turn with, and say, hey, this is the things that I need to be in line with in order to have control over my country. And you could play it out however energy filled you want to play with it. I'm just saying the energy correlation with the movie on Fear 1944. So he had to keep the rituals up in order to keep control over the town. He was the police sheriff and stuff like that. And every year somebody was possessed to they wrote their name on the wall, and then they would get possessed and start killing people, and that had to be done every couple years in order for them to keep control and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot of things going on when people want control, and like I said, people want the culture, and people don't want people to dream. People want to give people the idea. People want to give people the myth. Well, our people are giving people the myths and the legends for their imagination to tie on and stuff like that. And that's why people think this reality is so fucked up. It's like, well, the most fucked up place you could ever come by. It's one of many. It's one of many in the realities traveled. Is one of many. But what we can do about it is just be ourselves. Be ourselves, because in us is the change. In us always lies the change. Not waiting for anybody else. And how those changes happen is all up to the experience. That's why I'm here, and I want to tie alongside with y'all to get some experiences and build some pictures and actually go out into the world and do stuff. Go out into the world. Not just talk on the internet. Not just talk on the internet, but to create organizations or create gatherings, groups, but whatever pops up. I'm thinking I have this idea already of creating VR art classes to inspire the youth in the new mediums of art that's of expression that's coming out. So that so that'll be ready, available, and touch the work on the imaginations, because that's how it's done. Working with the imaginations of people, and then inspiring. What kind of seeds are you planting? That's what it is. What kind of seeds are you planting in the minds of the people around us? Is a personal responsibility. I think the mushrooms and everything have me so tentatively aware of. Like, how am I affecting other people? What is my effect on the environment around me? Since we're all part of the creation as one. Like, what is my role as the character? Not truly what I think I am, because my thinking is about the processing of everything that's kind of going on around me. But what we would term as what I'm dreaming about, what I see my with the mushrooms when they talking to me in the therapy sessions, where they like, hey, this is your character. It's awesome times. It's awesome times. And everything around us, everything around us is that has an inkling of magic sprinkled on it to let us know what to guide us on where we are, because our mind will get paranoid and and not know where we are. And you see a lot of people get into paranoid states of delusion, of what we call delusion and stuff, or just like not know what reality they're in. Like, oh, I'm just torn between two worlds, five worlds, and stuff like that. But just seeing the world around us is part of being lucid in the first place, realizing where we are, taking a second to breathe in our lucid dreaming experiences, lucid practicing, breathing and looking around, seeing how the physics work, seeing what's around us. Oh, but yeah, I titled I was reading about dream stimuli, and this guy in this book that I've been going over, Our Dreaming Mind, and I was relating it to the psychedelic experience, because he was talking about people doing different experiences with dreams and affecting the dreams over time. And he was talking about like people putting smells, different scents under their noses, or he said it's hard to do foods, because like how you gonna feed somebody while they sleep? Where is it? I'll find it. And they was talking about um and they was also talking about flashing lights while they were sleeping, and that affected the dreams. Playing music and frequencies in the air while they was asleep and helping with nightmares and everything. If I could find the pictures, then I can know exactly where this is. Give me a second. Because how I related to the psychedelic experience, people have a lot of questions and experiences saying, how come I see my friends or things that I just seen in my waking reality, like a movie and stuff like that? How was that a part of how is that a part of my journey? How does that tie in? And I don't have the answers. I just have more experiences, because the dream world, near death experiences, out of body experiences, when people say they have OBEs, and even how we're now studying the body with the neurochemistry. And shout outs to Charles for bringing up yesterday. I looked it up and he was right. Dr. Rick Straussman was talking about, and it was 49 days, not 39, talking about um how DMT is released in babies at 49 days. And when we go to sleep and in lucid dreaming and when you pass on, like I was bringing up today. So I like dealing with our chemistry and seeing how that's affecting how we are experiencing different conscious states. All of this is going to lead to different technologies. Hey, you well? Let me bring it up. Thanks for coming through. That's an idea. Make a device that vapes in the night and makes sounds and lights to induce REM dream. Hey, shout outs to you well. All right ahead of the curve. I was talking about all these experiences coming into some kind of technology. Coming into some kind of technology. On the picture. Because we see similar things. Like um Charles was bringing up that somebody saw Sheba at 5 years old without knowing Sheba was, and I brought up the practicality of my critical mind popped in, like saying it's probably Sheba cousin, and then somebody he saw a picture of Sheba later, and then it's because in order to use the name and stuff like that. But I think all these things do exist. Like Carl Jung never did psychedelics, but he painted a mandala with a chrysanthemum from one of his dreams and stuff like that. Painted this mandala image after a powerful dream in which he found himself in a dirty city. All of the streets led to a center. This dream pointed Jung to what he called the center of self. So he didn't call it a mandala. He saw it as street avenues and stuff. How he thought about it. So it's all there. It's all there in the mind. It's supposed to exist. And you what? Hey, you well? You said different sense like food and other nature smells in order to invoke a sensation. Where I am now is because of the sense of smell. Like we get so used to scent so fast that we take it into reality. We take it for granted. We take it for granted. That's why I always looked up to people that was able to differentiate smells and stuff like that, like to a T. Like just by smelling different. I was gonna say sodas, different wines and stuff like that. Because it's part of building our reality. It's part of the experience. I used to go to 4D theaters and Busch Gardens and it was an amusement park back when I was younger, and they used to spray water on you and stuff and spray little scents in the air from the seat and stuff when things happen. Y'all know about smell-o-vision? That tried to be a thing. Smell-o-vision. And these are all technologies interacting with our senses to induce lucid experiences in the mind, as we can put it. Yeah, but going with the vaporized technology, you well, it's something. It's somebody that's working on VR technology. I saw a little video of it, and it was a VR experience, and they had these different vaporizers and stuff that shot things out for for you to experience what was going on in that virtual realm, so you could feel more connected to. You said the mandala is a map for the mind in Tibet. It's draw as how the beyond realm they used it design. Oh, they used to design it like that. So that's probably why how he was came up with that too. Because I know, yeah, because I know the when the monks and the Tibetans, you will when they draw that in the sand and when they draw it in the however they do it, they actually see that in like 3 dimensions. Like you said, a map of the mind, like it's actual place. It's not just not 2D. It's actual place as you can that they walking around in as they're drawing it. And that drawing it is a meditation so that they can have a roadmap of the self. Like it's not the how I see it, it's not the exact words because you don't need words to always know something, to always translate information. You don't always need words as we know. Symbols and patterns. Me and Charles was talking about that yesterday. You will about crystals and um symotry, 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 the practice of touching objects and getting in tune with the vibrations of it and be able to know its history and what it has to offer and stuff. And Charles was talking about a book. I forgot a book or a movie where it's race of aliens. They sent crystals down and stuff to the planet so that, and when people touched it, they was able to get the communication link going on or the download and stuff. Like what they actually had to say was in the crystal. You just had to touch it. Yeah. And yeah, you will. It was the movie, horror movie 1944. I was watching that. I should do like a basic review on it. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, he is designed. LOL. Did you read the thing on dust from his dark materials and on dust? No, I never heard of that. Yeah, I need more info on. I like to have more info on that. Oh, dust. Sci-fi short film. Okay, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that. Oh yeah. Well, I was talking. I was saying, I was. I'll probably make a dedicated video on it later. But I was thinking, I was watching the movie 1944. I watched all three of them, and it was cool because it dealt with different lifetimes and the spirit coming through different lifetimes. Because she was, they killed her in 1776, the girl Sarah, because they believed that she was a witch, and their water was poisoned and everything. So they went through all of that Christian mishap, saying, "Oh, you must have made a pact with the devil," and the person had a personal agenda against them, and they had to deal with her being a lesbian and everything, and not fitting in. So they burnt her and everything, and so she was saying, "I'm never going to leave you, and you're never going to forget my name." So Tom kept she kept reincarnating through different times. All three, like all five of them, the whole gang kept reincarnating through different times. Even the so-called the protagonists and stuff that wanted to control the city by having somebody be possessed and stuff. I was talking about it earlier already. Somebody be possessed so that they can have control with the spirit and stuff. The spirit helped them have control over the city. But the reincarnation factor and her coming back, and then the people from the time, they will get memories from their previous lifetime when they like blood fell on something. But it was cool. It was like psychometry. They got the whole vision and download of who they were, even if they didn't understand it. And they was like, "Oh wow, the Sarah Fleischer guy, I mean lady, she was murdered, and she was the only one that knew about the murders, and they tried to cover it up and call her a witch and stuff like that." And that's happening all the time with different, reincarnations go really deep, really deep. A lot of us that was here was burned on them stakes and in Massachusetts and stuff like that. I know I was. That's why I believe I'll be bringing it up. That's what these stories be telling me and stuff like that. In the past, when I be so animated and like the Salem witch trials, like why was that important to me? Cloud Atlas. I seen that movie with Holly Berry and the other big face guy, Tom Hanks. Yeah, I seen that movie. Of dealing with past lifetimes and them all dealing having to deal with each other. It's all there. It's all there for us to see and connect with our own lifetimes, right? You will, or yeah, right? You will. because it's connecting. It all makes sense. Because then after I was connecting with that movie and seeing that, it's another show called, I don't know. I'll figure it out. It'll come to me. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's about these guys, these group of people's kids and guys, like grown people and kids. But they found out about this comic book about how this comic book that actually has to do something about the future. And then it gets deep because it's the people that really know about the comic book too, and they just cosplay about it. But the girl was like, "No, this comic book has to do with life." And she was tying her ass off. She was doing what we do. And everybody was looking at her like, what are you talking about? Like, no, it's just a comic book. It's just a comic book. I was like, yeah, we be bringing that live to the stage, that feeling of emotion, of connecting and experiencing the tie ending story or the never ending story, all of it correlating. How you saying you say, yeah, how it all entangles with each other. The drips of the dream. Dream dripping. That's what we going to term it. Dream dripping. The reality of the dream drip. I really be shouting if we needing this much water. Did you watch the old version or the new version? New energy and stuff every different. But no, that's the energy, bro. What movie was what movie was we even talking about? Uh Hold on. What happened to my blood? Like that's going. But yeah, what movie are you talking about? With the EU version and the American version. Oh, what happened to my blunt? Gone. Oh, Utopia. Oh, okay, okay. That's what it's called. Thanks, bro. I was like, that's because I didn't know the name of the show at all. I said I had to look it up myself. So I didn't. I forgot everything. I didn't have any breadcrumbs. But yeah, Utopia. I think it's the American. It's the American version. If they have if they have a EU version, they probably got some other things in there. I probably should turn on the subtitles, see if they wrote something different, like wrote the script different, or is it different actors? But if it was that big to come over to America, it got a lot of esoteric messages in there to get some nice information from to tie into our own experiences. But Utopia is dope. I'm only on episode 2, so I can't talk too much about it. But it's very cool to see these things happen. And on a bigger scale, it's prepping me like I hear in my but yeah, I don't have names for all the things that's going on. Like, it would be cool. But for the thing for the prep part of my mind that seems like it's always prepping me with things that's going on through experiences. Oh, similar. Oh, it's a whole different show, just similar. Okay, I gotta see it. I'll probably watch that one first. Probably get more into that one than the American version. As you know, they got enemy of mascarias and more fairy tales and the European countries going on. It's not so Americanized, so westernized. Even in their TV shows, that's why Doctor Who is so popular over there. I love Doctor Who. I watched a couple episodes, couple seasons. It's pretty good. New version about it, but it's very cool. to see these things happen. And on the bigger scale, it's prepping me. Oh, that's what I was saying. The prepping mind. I have a prepper mind, and it's like just prepping me to start getting diving into making movies, making scripts, making books, like in terms of fantasy and everything like that. Because I was going to say in fiction, but to me it would be nonfiction, but to y'all it would be titled as fiction. I'm like, no, this is real. They're oh, that crazy died, that guy died. He just writing his old stories. I love to read it though. Yeah, but he's saying them they real. I think when I write a story, I don't see myself like I love I want to write every day, but I don't like to write. I do not like to just sit there and write. Like just put it out there and script it out. It's something that's not in me that I like, but it's something that's in me that I know I want that's my character wants to do. Like that's going to happen, that's going to occur. And I have written a book already. I made a book already. Check out the Time Ventures of Tussle Tula Bay. And I mean on a grander scale, like it's like with my art, when I was talking about with Charles, it's like a muse that pops up. I have to be in a certain mode of operation in order for me to feel comfortable creating, or also just feel like I'm frustrated, or my mind would be going to something else. I'll just be on something else. He said, we talked about this. Get a few like-minded people local to make them with you. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's why I'm posting more on Instagram. Trying to get more friendly on Instagram and talk about my location and stuff like that. And and it's gonna appear. It's gonna appear. I'm getting more motivated, and people are starting to not me more motivated. People are starting to connect with me more on the outside. Like the person that I work with, that I said I work with for a while, the older lady, she be motivating me and saying I need to work more with her daughters and stuff like that, so we can start, so I can work with the next generation and get these ideas out about magic, and because her daughter's into filming and stuff like that, taking pictures and everything. She's about to go to college right now to like further her development and those kind of. So something is going to pop. It's going to appear. Going to appear. Best believe. Best believe. Best believe. Because the dream. That's how the dream works. Team. I was about to say that's how the dream works. You will. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. Can't go around running around in the dream. Think you doing it all by yourself. Planning, analyzing. Gotta wait for this to happen. Gotta do this, and then that lead to this. Because the mind trap, the spell that's been put on people when they go through that kind of thing, trust me, I would know. You just following somebody else's path, saying, "Hey, work like that." That's the way, and that's what culture has the grip on us. I'm saying this whole thing wrap around this whole story how I started the podcast. The myths are given to us. The legends are given to us. This is legendary. That is amazing. This will stand the test. This is timeless. This is a timeless classic. You know how many times Disney called their own movies a timeless classic? And now we look up like, yeah, the timeless classic, Pinocchio. Woo! How about the timeless classic of the person that wrote the book Pinocchio? Like Disney ain't even write half the stories. They like how you say you well is how energy works. They know how energy works. And that's what taught me to say even just tainow every single episode. Cause I listen to these people, the Bodega Boys. The Bodega Boys, shout out to Bodega Boys. These Samara, they got their show on Showtime now. But I've been watching them since they was on Vice. And they say every show the most luxurious podcast, the most luxurious podcast in the world, and they believe it. They say it the same way. They come with the energy, and as well, you can use this in your own life. They even tie this around to our own personalities and helping each other out. Use words of power. Use words that sound powerful to yourself when you're describing yourself. Invoke the energy, like, and it's like an invoking of the energy inside it in yourself. When I was talking about names and vibrations and stuff, Velvet Wind popped in and left a comment talking about names being vibrations. Talking about the pharaohs had different names that they called themselves for like a little history thing. A lot of people have a lot of names they call themselves, even in today's time. Even myself, different artists, musicians, even your own mama. Got different names and nicknames and stuff, all the different decades of experience that they went through. So yeah, like that's how energy works. We're nothing but energy. So what else are we? We call yourself something. That's what the energy is, right? You will. I was talking about that a couple podcasts ago about people trying to see so much of the lie inside of a supposed truth, or see the truth in a lie when it's presented to you. You feel the energy off the bat, and you know if it's a lie. Like, you know it's a lie. You know it's the truth. And then some people say years like, no, it's not really like that. It's not really like that. Like, why are you even saying? Why do you even have to say it's not really like that? What is that energy right there in that sentence? It's not really, 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 really. Like, we just stay simple. Our mind complicate things, but we know we part of the energy. We picture. You will find the platform that projects your frequency. Just have to keep putting that energy out there, finding the connection. That's how I find myself. That's how I find myself. You will. That's why I'm getting into different arts, and I was saying everything is for a reason. Even getting into the digital 3D art, I never stopped that. I'm still scanning objects and everything. The photometry, and getting into these shirts. If y'all ain't really the game, I'm getting into silk screening. One of the new designs. The green on there is going through the green screen right now. And then combining the two so that you'll be able to scan the shirt phones and it'll pop right out. Awesome timations. Some awesome timations. Oh yeah, it's gonna pop up. And I'm just having fun along the way. But yeah, it's all about finding them connections. Because finding them connections for me is being part of the journey and not getting lost in one connection. Like, not just getting lost in the culture, not getting lost in the culture of things. Oh, you will. Here goes the picture of the and anybody else out there. Anybody else out here with a picture of what I was talking about the last podcast of the guy. I'm gonna show you first. There it is. This was an old dream thing somebody invented to help get rid of nightmares back in the day. And it was oh, rotating glass on the wall with mirrors that created like a kaleidoscope. And then that was the what was that guy that created that stole the idea for the light bulbs? The Edison. The Edison phonograph that was fed into his ears and stuff like that. And then we can add the vaporizers, bring it into the 21st century, and MP3 and a phone and a phone instead of a phonograph. He called it a stereo petcon. I'm trying to see what he said about it carefully. He said Freudian dream analysis, but who were inclined, blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Over his procedures helped to relieve depression and insomnia. He also claimed to have cured the 20-year history of morbid dreams for a person with the very first night of exposure to Cornyn's treatment. Mr. L dreams changed from having formerly a kind of carnival on of the horrible carnival of the horrible. Wait, dang, how did I just lose all my place that fast? Because I looked up. All right, here we go. Here we go. It's this guy, I'm just saying, that created this machine, and this guy, other guy, was saying he was having nightmares of formerly a kind of carnival of the horrible, and then it went to agreeable visions that brought him comfort. According to Cornyn, the experiences of the first night were repeated again and again, and by the end of the 5th week treatment, Mr. L's dream had an optimistic coloring, with only a single reoccurrence of the odd trouble. So I found that wild that he found himself in a wild carnival when I was reading this book. Now people like in DMT, I have people say, "Oh man, I was in this wild carnival and jesters and feeling like I ain't had that much control and stuff like that." I think that's a common thing in humans. Period. Like that archetype we was talking about before, without having a name for it, but it's something that's part of the human mind. Or the mind, or however you want to put it. It's right here. But yeah, I'll go into all them other things. That'd be another thing. They talking about different beliefs and how different cultures was looking at dreams and stuff like that, and how they believe dreams, what they believe dreams to actually be. Like the Egyptians, they said the Egyptians were less concerned than the Mesopotamians or Jews with demonology. But like the Mesopotamians, they interpreted dreams as messages from a pantheon of gods. The dreams of royalty were given special attention because the gods were more likely to appear to them. And that was the myths that was put around back in the day. People was only not living that long. And for this was in 14 BC, 1400 BC. The dreams of royalty. Yeah, one such royal dream was that of Tutmos the Fourth. The god Harmaku came to Tutmos in a dream and promised to grant him riches and a united kingdom. But in return, he had to agree to remove the sand covering the Sphinx, which represented this god. Upon ascending the throne, Tutmos kept his promise to remove the sand and record the events of his dream on a stone column or stela in front of the giant figure. The stela, which can be seen today, is considered to be a reconstruction of the original. Serapis was the Egyptian god of dreams, and several temples was devoted to his worship. The one at Memphis, constructed about 3000 BC, was one of the most important. Oracles or professional dream interpreters, known as the learned men of the magic libraries, resided in these temples. A professional shingle found at the office door of one of them read, "I interpret dreams, having the god's mandate to do so. Good luck." The interpreter presented here in Cretan. So that was something that was left. So this was life back in ancient Egypt. And you know, they saying that only the people of the royalty was able to have their dreams interpreted. And now I'm here and we all here saying now we can all interpret our own dreams. We can go into our own dreams and see what's going on. And now that we having people that even experience similar archetypes, we seeing similar things, diving so deep into the dream world that we haven't, that is psychedelic, that is so many important. It's just open, it's wide open, opening doors even in our so-called waking base reality life, whatever that means. But y'all know what it means to y'all. it's like still we're able to now go that. That's the power that we now have awakened to, the power of dreams. And I like that they even say that dreams came from the god Serapis. Because I just see this person as a person that exists in the matrix that creates realities for people that's on journey, and like it's that form of you, a form of self, that creates as it goes. Like as soon as I close my eyes, I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming of the moon and a trampoline on the moon, and I'm bouncing on the moon, and it's just sticking off the side of the moon now, just whoosh, to flip into the portal, and now just whoop popped up, and now it's things all hanging from the ceiling like this and stuff, and I can keep on going. Dreams, where is that connection coming from? What's things going on? Who created it? Who creates the dreams? And like I said, it's all storytelling. It's all storytelling. We create the myths and legends and stuff as we go along. But how you can name these things your own things if you want to put a name to it, or you could just keep on going with the flow. These things don't need terms and definitions for separation. But if it pops up, it pops up. And the Egyptians, they called it Serapis. I actually want to see how Serapis, how they say. Hey, this is a Greek version. Oh wait, so BC, and there's one constructed in BC. So this must have been after Cleopatra. Anything? The only picture? Hold on. I don't look like Jesus. Everybody do, because that was just an interpretation of how they drew people back then. Wait, somebody even saying that right there. Serapis Christus. I never heard about this connection. I never heard of this person before. Serapis, Isis, Osiris. I think we just uncovered something, guy. Two people in the audience. What is this about? Therapist, we got Isis, we got Horus. I never even seen this Stella before. But this was definitely during the Greek times, because look at the hair and stuff like that when they ate it. But the connection to Christos, never want to see what they said about therapist. Are you trying to say therapist was a person? I thought he was the creator of dreams. So these two different people. I know I was looking up the creator of dreams. Wait, no, no. Go to all. What was Serapis the god of? Ser became revealed not only as a sun god, Zeus Serapis, but also as Lord of healing and fertility. He was his worship was established in Rome and throughout the Mediterranean, following the trade, particularly great commercial cities. So this was a god that was really formed. People knew about this when you trading. Name get word get around with the trade routes back in the day. That was like the internet back in the day. The trade route, the Silk Road, and everything in Asia. But yeah, if it's creating dreams, I want to get into metaphysical. Before I look up what they gotta say, I'll say what I gotta say. If they were seeing it as the sun god, light is what we are. It's things that we see. We're interpreting the photons the supposed photons and the things around us in order to turn into electricity and be produce an image in our brain, produce solidarity, solid objects and stuff around us, so that I'm not really touching the table. I'm never touching this. I'm never touching this. Never. I'm never touching it. Look, I'm never touching this. Even science, even your flunked out science will say, it's chemical. I mean, it's electrical reactions going on between the electrons and all the atoms and stuff in here, but atoms in my fingers, and it's creating a signal like a jump or something in between, and then that turn more into electricity and produces a common image. So a common reality, or I would say the reality of light, the reality of conscious state where I'm at right now, where I find myself, where they would say the serapis God created. That's why a lot of people worship horrors in the sun, and we see this archetype relived and retold throughout time, throughout the ages, of the sun, of something be having the characteristics of the sun, of a sun god, and that being the light of the world. That's shining and being the light of the world. And people say, find your inner light. Find you shine bright. You hear that not a lot of day. You shine bright. Find your inner light. That's finding our inner sun, that creator, the creator aspect. That's what I believe they're talking about. And that's why I can be interpreted as the Christos and Serapis, Horus, or a lot of other characters, even in comic books. Funny story. Story. My mic still, like, I hear it in my own.
Yes, sir.
Oh, all right. Hey, XL. I was trying the truth. I was feeling a little lonely for a minute, but then I was remembering.
I had somebody to take care of, but on the atoms note, so we looked at the diamond, right? Supposedly on the hardness scale on our Earth, it's the hardest thing we can, we cut things with diamonds, so they're really tough, right? Supposedly, the atoms are the most packed together in the diamond as far as any other physical substance on Earth, right?
Yeah, the way
There's
the
like a
atoms
hardness
arranged.
scale, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so if we look at the diamond and the atoms are supposedly, far more close together than our meat suit or than the air or than the earth, we look at these under a microscope and we start zooming in. If we zoom in to where the atom, the size of an atom is the size of a grapefruit or a basketball, the next closest atom is about a football field or two football fields away.
I remember hearing that in the documentary. Exactly the way you put it.
and, and that relates to black holes, which would probably be spelled with a WHOLE, signifying a completion, not a lacking.
You said WH
Yeah, I would call black
WHLE.
hole. Yeah, because we say black hole like it's a hole, like it's lacking.
Oh,
There's a
uh-huh.
there's a void in it, right? But I would say the black holes is WHOLE, signifying a
Got you.
completion, right? Not
It took
lacking
me a
anything.
minute. I got it now. I had to write it out. Yeah. Because you know how science and everything try to scare us when they have us approach infinity or approach something that has to do with being
Whoa.
timeless. They say, oh, it's the most scariest thing. It's a hole, sucks everything out. It's the end of existence. We don't know what's on the other side.
Well, all I can give you is my experience and knowledge up to this point, right? We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, it was
And
scary.
certain people, so I don't have all the data. You don't have all the data. Any scientist living does not have all the data, so we can't say. I mean, I understand that, but I mean, there's no way. That's all science is independent correlations and firsthand accounts. Like,
Uh-huh.
That is
Sorry
without
about that.
firsthand accounts, people observing actual things going on. Oh, the water moved like this when I did this, and then somebody else can replicate it. I put in flower nutrient at a specific day and my flowers grow bigger. Well, that's kind of science. Like,
No, that's why
it's just,
science is natural. I found I found that in myself, as you say. When I was studying in school science, I found that I was using my everyday thinking, and that is something that a lot of other people wasn't doing. That's why they didn't really like it. But I had a real small class. It was only 26 graduating class, so I really got to know. But yeah,
that's dope.
science just had to do with um I'm not experience, my curiosity with the world around me, and like just poking things. Oh, it did this time. What happens when I do it again?
Seeing how things work.
Yeah, and then seeing how far other people took it. And then, as you say, as we grow and mature in the mind, seeing that we got that reality's objective instead of being subjective. So yeah, when they encountered the black hole, they was observing in their mind, even with the math and everything, how the body would rip apart and stuff, and that repeats, oh, approaching black hole scary and stuff. And then you got other people approach the black hole and say it's a dimension. Hey, I approached the black hole and saw that it's something on the other side. Like, you know how a lot of sci-fi movies got that now. Well, not now, for a long time. Like, actually, when you
Right.
go through it, you build a ship strong enough, you can make it through. And there's wonders and magnificence and just different things, like you said, as we approach it. The science goes on. It's like a practical physical science, a chemistry science, and an alchemical.
Mm.
And I think you popped in. You said you had asked me before, did the sun ever speak to me? Yeah. Yep. Give me them inspirations, them thoughts, and the connections. I remember I did DMT on the mountain, and it felt like I was the sun. It's one of the few times I've done the DMT, and it felt like I was the sun, whatever that meant in the moment. Oh wait, I got the wrong tab open. Hold on, too long that.
Sun's pretty powerful, bro.
Yeah, and the is that we talk about the vitamin D and everything, but even that vitamin D is a communication. Like well, we say we touch crystals and stuff like that in order to receive information. And it is given information from the sun. That's why the Egyptians used to draw the ankh and hands and stuff coming down from the rays of the sun in order to like as rays instead of just drawing just lines and things like that. And I'm thinking about even as kids, how when we, at least me, when we used to draw art a lot and stuff, and when you draw a scene, you always put a sun in there, like you stick the sun in the corner. And I just had the memory of my art teacher telling me to do something different, like put the sun over there. Why gotta be like this?
It's always in the corner.
I was like, the sun exists. Like it's supposed to be the sun in the picture. It's in the sky in the corner. That's my template. I think I was like in middle school or something like that. But yeah, sun, the sun is the sun energy. It allows me to create. Like I said, it's the creating factor. It showed me what it is. It showed me the creating factor of life, and it exists in my belly as my solar plexus or as my gut mind. Um,
Yeah. There's more serotonin receptors in our gut than there are in our brain.
Dude, no, that I was just watching. It's called Being Human on Netflix, and they put that together so wonderfully. I put it together titastically because we've been talking about that for a couple years. But they had the graphics and stuff. They had the people that study this that dedicated their life to studying the gut in the physical aspect, the physical sense. Like I said, got the chemistry and alchemy. But they were saying exactly what you were saying, revealing how many neurons are actually in the gut and how the gut has reflexes, it has memory, it has all those things. It communicates with the brain to tell the brain what's going on. Not the brain always telling the gut what's going on. So our guts are so powerful. Let me see how many. I think they said like 20,000.
There's a
How many?
lot.
How many neurons in gut?
I would say million, probably
Yep,
in the
yep.
orders of millions.
You right. You right about that. 100 million. More than 100 million. And that's why I've been getting into the kombucha a lot more. When every time I think about it and it comes to my mind and stuff,
Mm.
and introducing bacteria and different kind of bacteria to my gut. And that's why I was reading. They say that's why it's good to have a dog or something that you like think is unclean or unsanitary and stuff. Just introducing things to your biome because they got their own villages going on, just like the blood
Yeah,
cells. They need things. They got to get their own immune systems built up. Cause who are we? Like that's who we are. Like if they change up, my attitude change up. And I heard people with in autistic research how they get real into the gut mind and seeing how it processes thoughts overall, like how the person will come over off overall socially and everything. It has to do with how your gut is working.
that's right.
Well said, math and energy. Hey, print a little tweet the raw. You said that's real, fam. That fear is a way to harmonize the forces, but not the only way. Well, and print P. Timble, do you think the hexagon is the real DNA in mathematics? The hexagon? Hmm. I never thought of it. I never thought of that. But
Like
yeah.
Merkaba, it's like successive Merkabas lining up to, because there's 3 by 3 GTAC, I think, are combined. That's what we call them.
The
Four
proteins.
right, 4 acids that come together to make our DNA, and they could be lined up and what is that? Fractalized, or there's another word for it I'm looking for. Tessellated. It could be tessellated Merkabas all the way up, spiraling.
Thanks for
So
thanks
you're
for huh?
we're constantly in this time flux, time traveler state through our DNA is actually how we're here and able to transact in this reality is through the spiraling of these things. It's fucking trip.
Bro, where you get those words from?
I found them.
That's why I'm saying that for the masses too, because teamwork makes the dream work, as you well was talking about earlier. Because you was saying what I was visualizing, but I didn't know if the words for it would make sense because
I got you.
I was having a vision of the tie symbol, and then of it
Yeah.
going in and me having that conversation. Oh, hold on, mom, you gotta call me back. I'm trying to get you podcast. Hold on 1 second. Hey, mom, say hi to everybody. You on the podcast? Hey, have any? I got a question for you. How's everything going on? How's everything? No, with you. Oh. I was going. Uh huh. I was going to ask. Wait, mom, hold on. I'm still on the show live. I was going to just ask you real quick. Did you did you have any weird dreams last night? How was that? Uh-huh.
My dream where I went to just to try it out. But I actually had dreams where it felt like while I'm literally controlling my own movements and everything. Like I literally was in the dream controlling everything I did. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just started dreaming again. I haven't dreamt in years for some reason. Starting to have back to back dreams ever since the pandemic, especially. Ever since the pandemic.
Able to relax a little. Well, yeah, relax in a different kind of way.
Maybe that's
Or
what
the
it is.
panic
I don't
or
know.
something
Mhm.
excited, something. Oh, forget, I'm not a car guy.
Right. Like I'm asking the world, what the hell does it mean?
Hey, that's how you get the answer.
Yeah. Um, but
Hmm.
at home, so I
Yeah, you
park
just
right
got the
now.
oil change and everything, and the brake line change. So
I have brand new brakes. My yeah, I did. As you know, this is my first. I did, but I don't know. I left the light on when I ran, and maybe the
no.
battery died. The battery don't die, right?
Oh, it can. It can. Yeah, mine's does now. It's at that point. So you
Okay.
probably could try to get a new battery. Yeah, that's the answer right there. Go right there. Just go with it. That's what I do with my cars. And then just ask
Yeah.
them when you get there.
Here I get some
Nope.
heat. Believe.
All right, mom. I will. Thanks for sharing. I'm gonna call
Yes,
you
yes.
when
Enjoy.
I'm gonna call you when I'm done.
Thanks for
Yes.
sharing.
My mom cracked me up dreaming about husbands. My mic still like I hear him in my
Yes, sir. Dude looks like Idris Elba.
Oh, all
I
right.
saw a
Yeah,
flash of him.
so wait, say that again. I had to cut off the it was another video.
I saw a flash of him. The dude looked like Idris Elba, but he had a longer beard.
Probably his next movie. uh yeah, YouTube must be popping off. It say zero concurrent, but I'm still getting I ain't gonna pay attention to viewers because the comments still coming. All right, Temporal, you say your name is Gail. I gotta remember that. You said that last time. Sorry about that. So get ready for your dream dad time. My mom cracked me up, man. Cause she be right and she right with the forces. She just don't. She know it. She know it in her heart of hearts. She just act like she don't. But then at times will reveal herself and say, "Yeah, this is why I'm actually doing this." Oh, you little real slick magician. That's where I got it from. Oh, Exile, that was cool. That was cool. Sorry for the little intermission.
No, it's much
Yeah.
appreciated.
I went with it because I was trying to start the podcast with her, but she didn't answer her phone. So I was like, "Oh, got her now." And like you say, take the path where the water not going to try to like the water don't resist don't so much. You're just going to try to flow over the rock or go around the rock. You ain't going to try to always try to break through the rock. So I was like, "Oh, should I
Right.
do it now or this or that?" I was like, "Oh, she calling. It's all set up." Just like I didn't know you was going to set up talking, saying exactly what I was thinking. Like I didn't know she's going to call. Like that's that beyond the flow, like that come with kind of experiences that people like really be putting so many different names on that it cracks me up. But that's our showmanship as human beings. I even see priests and everybody now with showmanship, showman. Like I don't see it as a bad thing or nothing. I'm just like they just some good they some showmen. They got their robes. So much for showmen. They collect money and you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, it's in most of the, let's call it culture, to have a repository or a library or
Yeah.
a method of acting on a certain topic. This is how we garden here. This is how we wear our hats here. This is,
It
in
is.
in the in the Celtic uh, nation or tribe, uh, the language was passed down orally. So you would not write things down. It was all given via language, and you
And
would
then
have to memorize to have a standing in the community. You would have to memorize at least 500 stories and be able to speak them in a manner that relayed both the visual and physical. You're putting the person in a place, kind of thing.
that makes sense. As you said, 500 stories. I know, we got
Yeah,
2.5.
yeah.
Make
The
sure it's right.
bards, you had to memorize 500 stories, and it's probably the same. I mean, there's probably still oral traditions today where people will just tell each other the history instead of writing it down.
Celtics. I'm thinking of Native American culture
Right.
or Cherokee and the native cultures of this land and stuff. Yeah, so
Probably,
I'm thinking. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna tag what you were saying about stories, and then us writing down stories and passing them along that way, and then, and then like in order, and because you like you said, the person was respected for that, and so they've remembered the stories, and they probably was afforded different things so that they can be able to have the leisure to do these kind of activities and stuff like that. But they probably didn't take advantage of people that much with the stories, like how once you start writing it down on paper in a certain way, in the way that we have done it now, as we see culture spread, writing it down a certain way, and then saying, "Hey, this is the way the story is always supposed to be told," like not dependent on how you feel about it years later or how your
Right.
kids will say this in their subjective reality, but it's like this. And then that allows for the manipulation to go and little text is turned here and there without even saying stuff. And then saying, well, this is what this respected person said. Like, is it really what they said? Or did you switch it up and you saying what they said, but you really just saying what you saying? Like we all was just comfortable with telling our own stories, but knowing that it's passed down and passed down from us, from our ancestors, from people that help prep the reality that we're enjoying right now, then I think it will allow us to relax a lot more and be more lucid. Be more lucid. That's one of my I wouldn't even say goal because you already lucid. You just gotta know. But one of my things in life is to have imaginations and thought patterns that keep as lucid as possible in the realities that I appear in. If
Thinking
that be
about
the
what you're
case,
thinking about, being
yeah,
what you're being.
yeah. If that's the case, unless another reality me is supposed to just be, ooh, you gotta just always. I can't even describe it right now, but like
Well, that's even what you're
more
being
base
then.
nature. Yeah, yeah. That's them being them.
And that it might be counterintuitive, bridging on yesterday, but it's
Mm-hmm.
at the same time exactly what was called for in that moment. You know, your value perspective might say, oh yeah, it's hurting, it's stressful. It might say, oh, it's beneficial. These things are just value additives that we have towards a neutral. I would say most things are probably neutral, like a plant or a knife or a water or something like this. And they might even tend towards the more beneficial, because once we do something quote evil or quote wrong, we still exist.
Uh-huh. Regardless.
So things might tend towards the more beneficial in that theory. It's hard to
Dep-
hear people say this is hell, because yes, I have experienced those visions, knowledge, being through the hardest thing you could possibly imagine. You call that, we or somebody could term that phrase as hell, or maybe purgatory, or maybe, or there's different words for it around the thing. But if you're in a place where you can see that and move through it or accept it and see it, like
Just
dig
like the
deep,
black
and
hole.
instead of having a trauma response that, like, I don't know the fucking answer. Sorry, I don't
No,
know the answers, man.
you the
Like,
hell right,
um,
bro. You the hell right. Like it ain't a bad thing. Hell, it's just a thing. The
but at least
experience is telling you
by
right.
being open and aware to it within yourself, sometimes that luxury of time is not there. That luxury of, you know, you got to hit the green light, or you got to pay your taxes, or you got to feed the dog, or you got to do the thing. Sometimes you can't necessarily give your time and space when you're in, oh, you just found, just uncovered it, and then your mom hits you up. Sometimes it's like a test. Here's your answer, but are you willing to wait for it? Is this really what you wanted? What's really important? If everything is a value perspective additive on our emotions and time and knowledge on the what's going on at the moment, then these things can change. And if there is a balance, if there is a stagnant void somewhere that's unchanging, well, that's always happening as well. But it's
Yeah.
this conundrum, this bipolar, this
I'm
operating as
bipolar.
both this operating as both the void and as something living at the same time in a perspective. That's a conundrum, because the mind or the body, one of these are maybe it's our male self, maybe it's our English self, maybe it's our 20th century 21st century self, is trying to grasp this idea, is a part of living, or a part of reality, trying to understand it. Well, I would probably think yes, you want to
Mm-hmm.
understand the reality in which you live in, and that leads you down. You keep asking that question. Well, you're going to go to the source of everything.
And then get back to doing things and see that you've been thinking all of that was part of the doing the whole time.
Right.
Hey King, first time on the Sci-Fi podcast. Thanks for coming through. He said, "Where do you think the strongest mushrooms was located and grown in the ancient world?" I'm not sure. They probably kept that highly secret. Whoever, whatever culture elevated and we don't know about, they had the strongest mushrooms. Because they was out of here. or they the ones that's right in our face. So they knew what was going on, and they was like, out of here is here. Uh, uh. I actually have to go soon. I have to take my daughter gymnastics class. Everyone, I be there at 11 o'clock. Just enough
Appreciate
time.
it. I have a beautiful day.
Hey, appreciate you as well, Exile. And everyone out there, you well, Adams, for sharing information. Gail, Lil Tweet the Raw. Yeah, Exile. Oh, it's the first time I've been watching this podcast though. Oh, cool. Thanks for chiming in. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. And everybody check out the www justtainow.com. Get this glow in the dark hat. Got them available in black. I mean, not black, dark blue, light blue. A lot of different apparel coming out, including this one. I didn't upload this one yet. But yeah, check it out. Keep the videos alive. Keep the channel alive. However seems possible. Even if you go on the channel, you can share. I mean, the website. You can share the art and just share it to your social media sites, or to purchase a sticker. It costs $3, and it's a deal if you get 3 stickers at the same time. Got some deals going on, and I'm gonna have a live giveaway the next show. I'm gonna have a live giveaway. I got a couple shirts, and I have some coupons for 10% off and stuff for the website. So yeah, let's build and continue dreaming. Dream on.